Good, happy Friday morning, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's get started. First up, 911 dispatches are key to helping save people. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
They are the first responders, and 12 to 15 times a day, these 911 telecommunicators give CPR instructions over the phone. Of those calls, about 4 to 5 are for suspected overdoses.
New Hampshire 911, what is your emergency? This is 911, can you hear me?
How old is the patient? Is she awake?
When you are in the worst moments of your life, these are the people on the other end of the line.
They have seen an uptick over the last few years in the number of CPR-related calls for service. Many of those have been attributed to the opioid crisis.
Has he vomited blood or coffee ground material in the last 24 hours?
This is headquarters for emergency communications based in Concord. There's another call center in Laconia to ensure that no matter what, every call is answered.
New Hampshire 911, what is your emergency?
1,200 to 1,500 calls come into this center every single day. 490,000 calls a year answered by 58 operators who work 10-hour shifts.
Sometimes we're definitely nervous on the inside, but you'll never know by listening to our voice.
The most critical piece of information a caller needs to have is location. It's harder than it sounds. Every detail matters. Cross streets, what floor you're on, landmarks, what door should they enter? Can't call? Texting works too, and it's saved lives since its inception in 2015.
Do not leave her alone until the paramedics are right there.
The New Hampshire drug crisis is felt here every single day.
Most of our CPR calls involving heroin don't start out as CPR. They start out as an overdose with difficulty breathing.
Time is critical. From the moment a person goes down, every minute CPR is delayed decreases survivability by 10%, according to the experts. So this team is trained to coach callers through hands-on CPR. Here's how it works.
Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone, right between the nipples. Put your other hand on top of that hand. Pump the chest hard and fast, at least twice per second and 2 inches deep. Let the chest come up all the way between pumps. We're going to do this until help arrives.
In 15 seconds, Sherry Raposo has the caller giving life-saving compressions.
We want to keep it that pace, ma'am. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Rescue breathing is added to the mix if the call is for overdose. And yes, this team gives Narcan instructions as well. The most frustrating part of the job? They never know how the crisis ends.
We have no outcome. They'll hang up the phone once they've completed what they need and the first responders have walked in, and that's the end of the story.
In Concord, Amy Covino, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Soldier from mass killed in training incident at Fort Bragg.
Visit Hingham Lumber for all your home improvement needs. Family owned and operated since 1947. Get expert advice for any project, however large or small. For quality products and friendly, knowledgeable staff, think Hingham Lumber. Click here for more.
The tragic explosion occurred at a firing range in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. A group of Green Berets in training doing a demolition exercise when an explosive device detonated. 32-year-old Staff Sergeant Alexander Dalida of Dunstable was killed. 7 others injured. His neighbors back home taking the news real bad.
He went off to the military. We were extremely proud that he was there to serve and protect us and our country. And this is devastating.
Dalida's parents, Paul and Diane, asking for privacy tonight, but releasing a statement saying Alexander was serving his country proudly for the best of reasons. He was the happiest he'd ever been. Serving his country courageously is my son's legacy.
It's just tragic. He was a nice kid. I always waved at him when he went by. He waved at me. It's just a tragic situation.
Sergeant Dalida enlisted in 2006 in Special Ops. His father says Dalida was due to finish up his Green Beret training this week. Married with a new 14-month-old child, he and his wife Becky, proudly a military family.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Maine Marine killed in Osprey crash comes home. Let's take a listen to the video.
Patriot Subaru welcomes the new 2018 Crosstrek. Stylish, rugged, and refined. Inside and out, find what you love with the Subaru Crosstrek. And it comes with Patriot Subaru's exclusive lifetime warranty. Patriot Subaru, Route 1, Saco.
Steve and Megan, it was a somber scene here at Logan Airport. Police, firefighters, and airport staffers gathered on the tarmac with members of the Cross family and about a dozen uniformed Marines. Captain Benjamin Cross's body arrived on a Delta flight from Salt Lake City. The Marines received his casket as it came off the plane. They put it in a hearse. That's when Captain Cross's family, including his parents and his brother, approached the back of the hearse, some of them putting their hands on his casket. Benjamin Cross was 26 years old, a graduate of Telstar High School in Bethel and the Virginia Military Institute. He was helping to pilot that Marine Osprey that crashed during a training exercise off the coast of Australia in early August. Cross and 2 other service members died in that crash. 23 service members survived. Right now, Captain Cross's body is on its way north, home to Maine for the final time. It's being accompanied by police and Patriot Guard riders the whole way. My colleague Kathleen Jordan is following that part of the story for our 11 o'clock broadcast later tonight. Funeral services for Benjamin Cross are being planned for Saturday. He will be buried in Bethel. Live in Boston, Paul Merrill, WMTW News 8.
Okay, and there you go on that report.
So we're actually just in between.
Complaints border officer engaged in patterns of injurious abuse against. In December of 2009, 15-year-old high school student Javielle Opry, her boyfriend, and a few of his family members decided to drive east to Encinta, California, up into the mountains to see the first snowfall of winter. They pulled over to a rest stop to use a bathroom and were suddenly blocked by an unmarked truck. A man in dark blue jacket shouted from the vehicle, Akapu would say later, directing her and her boyfriend to get out of the car with their hands up. Akapu says she had no idea what was happening until the man asked her where she was born. When she replied, Tanzania, she says the man demanded to know whether she was an illegal. He slapped handcuffs on her and her boyfriend, and within minutes they were surrendered by several Border Patrol vehicles. Akapu was separated from her boyfriend, loaded into the back of a car, driven away. She was taken to a Border Patrol station in Campo, California, about 50 miles east of San Diego. In a complaint filed with the agency in January of 2010 and an interview with ABC News that past March, Akapu described her details, hearing experience as she awaited her there. She says she was threatened with sexual abuse by border agents while in custody. Part of what the ACLU says is a pattern of misconduct by Customs and Border Protection officials aimed at minors that has largely gone unnoticed and unpunished. And there you go on that report. Equifax used the password admin for access to a database. Seekers of accounts on Equifax's website in Argentina allegedly were protected by the same generic username and password admin. Researchers at Homeland Security, a Milwaukee-based cybersecurity firm, found that after some guesswork, they were able to uncover personal employee information housed on Equifax's South American website, including names, emails, and social security equivalents of 100 individuals. And that's it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Friday and see you back here later on today. Goodbye, everyone.